Florida today, and I'm with Matt Moreman from the Obsessed Garage
Hey Nick, how you doing?
channel, and we're going to make an awkward collaboration video.
Camera on camera.
Camera on camera stuff,
right,
yep.
right.
But today I'm here to drive his GT350, which I don't really have high expectations on, because at the end of the day, it's just a fast
Mustang.
Mustang, that's right.
But we're not supposed to call it a Mustang. It's a Shelby GT350.
Shelby.
You just leave the Mustang part out.
And you traded your M3 in for this,
My
didn't you?
gentleman sedan, yes.
Right.
Yeah, my evolved gentleman sedan for this hooligan machine.
And did you get a lot of flack from BMW people for this?
It's probably the most, widely viewed video I've ever done.
Oh yeah?
Where you're trading my M3 in for a Mustang.
Right.
But yeah. I think a lot of people get it. You know, the interesting thing about this car is the vast majority of people who own it are Porsche and BMW guys.
Right.
You know, if you go on the forum, everybody who owns it's a BMW owner.
Right.
Former BMW owner.
Yeah. Well, I like the color.
Well, we're off to a good start.
Right. Let's take it for a spin.
So the first thing
is the seats.
How do the seats feel to you?
Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. These are some of the nicest seats.
My fat rear end sitting, like I have to
it's
sit
a,
to the
oh, it's a
side.
little bit too.
It's like, yeah, it's like a good 2 inches too tight for me.
Oh, really? Oh, it's good not to be the fattest guy in the room for once.
Yeah.
No, they're perfect. I guess they're not adjustable. No, they're not. No, it's perfect.
You can go.
They're super snug.
It's at its lowest setting, so it's as low as it goes.
Right. I could sleep in this car. Inside, you still get some of this cheaper plastic, but it's upgraded with this Alcantara, is it? And a bunch of little, like, is this red? I haven't seen this in any other Mustangs. Is this normal? This red ring?
I think this is the same shift knob as the GT350R. And
right.
Remember, if you've seen pictures of the R, the R has red accents, so all his stitching and everything is red in the R.
Right.
You know, so that's a big difference is in this GT350 versus the R version.
Okay. And the active sync, they're always excellent, aren't they?
Yeah, this 2017 is Sync 3.
Yeah.
I'd actually read all kinds of stuff about Sync 2 and the audio being so awful in this thing that
oh, really?
It was unbearable.
Huh.
And so when I got it, I expected it to be terrible, but it's really actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the interface is great. I mean, you have Apple CarPlay.
Yep.
Everything syncs instantly, which again I expected much less from a Mustang. But I think that's the key with this car is you expect something, and for me, it's outperformed.
How do you move this forward? I'll move this forward a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's start this beast up.
So your valve's closed from the start.
Right.
And then you'll want to go into
GPS
sport mode.
Connected.
And you'll notice the valve's open.
Okay. So when you started it before, it was loud. The valves were closed then?
That was the cold start. So
right.
cold start, it just shoots exhaust gas out.
Right. For me.
So let's see if you can figure out how to put it in reverse.
Is this?
Dang it.
Dang it.
I had to get the manual out because I got stuck when I picked up the car because I couldn't figure out how to put it in reverse. I'm like two-handing it.
Is there anything else I need to do? We're away. Actually, the clutch is really light. It's got a little
that's
blip
an
at the top.
Spring.
Oh, okay. Am I going to hit anything here? Just back it straight back.
Other than the Raptor.
Am I doing the...
Yeah, I'm good.
Can I go back a bit further? Pull forward.
I'm already impressed that you figured out how to put it in reverse because I was literally in a parking lot. I had to sit there and then Google it.
So, you've become a man with many American cars now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 of them. The one disappointment of the interior for me is you notice the squeal in the back right. You get on the throttle.
Oh, okay.
Bit. There's a ground loop.
Let me turn this fan down a little bit. Yep. Which way am I going?
Sounds like a supercharger. Go right.
Go right. Oh yeah, because we've got to get out of here, don't we? That whine, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is that from the speakers?
Yeah, the right rear speaker has a ground loop in it.
So do your neighbours hate you?
Well, my neighbor there is one of my best buddies. He's
oh,
a
okay.
car guy,
so he does definitely hate you. Yeah. Well, the shift is super notchy. It's really nice.
Right. Other than other than my AP2 S2000, it's my favorite manual transmission.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've got a manual transmission coming in my Carrera.
Yeah,
I'm
now
excited for that.
That's slightly better than this, but.
Oh really? Oh, that's good.
As far as the first, the second gear, second to third, the ability to drive it, comfortably, smoothly. This car is one of the easiest I've ever.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, I've jumped in cars with a manual and been jerky, off the start. But like you jump in this car, boom, it just makes sense.
Right. And what's the sports steering doing for you? Just light?
It's electric steering, so it stiffens it up. So if you
so this is the stiff
button's right here,
right?
Yeah, which is super light. Like if you get in, like if I got in my Porsche afterwards, it feels like my darn steering wheel's broken.
So putting in comfort. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's. I could steer with my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and switch it back to.
So the one on the left is normal.
Normal, sport. Okay, let's go sport.
So sport is a lot heavier.
Yeah, but not. It's still light, isn't it? But you notice the difference.
Yeah. So it's very light in comparison to other cars, but in this car, there's a pretty significant difference between sport and comfort. Similar to the BMW, though, a typical electric steering. The one thing you will notice when you get on the brakes in this car with the 295s, I mean the front tires are 295s.
Yeah.
The M3 rear, M4, M3, the rears are 275s.
Yeah.
So the fronts on this are 20 millimeters wider. So you'll notice tram lining in the road, especially when you get on the brakes.
And so it's really the sound is the big difference, isn't it? I mean, we never had this great sound in the M cars, did we?
Right. And then that flat plane, because you realize this, this isn't a traditional V8, or that's why this car's so different, so special, is that it has a flat plane crank, so the firing order is Ferrari-like.
Right.
And so that's why you get that weird, it's hard to explain. It's very unique, very different. So there's a sweeping S curve up to it.
Okay.
This doesn't have auto rev match like the M3 does in the manual. You had DCT, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I regretted that. I mean, it's nice. It's nice for a daily driver, but I drove a few manuals, and it really made the M4 come alive with the manual transmission. That's why I went with the manual in the upcoming Porsche. Oh, it really comes alive. Wow!
I told you, it just keeps revving.
Oh, yeah, I only took it up to 5,500, 6,000 then, and we'll go all the way to 8. So there isn't a lot of torque down low. It really starts to pick up as you go up, isn't it?
So we're going to go left at this next turn. So not this street, the next one, and then hammer it.
Okay.
And then there's a little S curve up here that you probably won't want to be in it all the way after that. Yeah, so the flat plane V8 allows us to rev it out, but there's very little torque down low.
Wow! That is crazy.
I told you, it's a different experience,
I'm starting to get it.
I don't get it. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Porsche BMW guy.
Yeah.
This to me feels like a step back until you get in and drive it, and it's just.
Yeah, logically it's a step back, but once you've driven it, you get it.
But do you see what I'm talking about? Just the tightness. You don't feel like you expect a Mustang to be bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain how good it really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to understand. That's a stop sign.
Don't kill me, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to die. You can go left and we can come back around.
So what don't you like about it?
I don't like the bottom part of the seat because I'm too wide for it. I need to figure that out.
So you could get a different seat, or you could lose weight. You know, it's.
I don't have any weight in my head.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that you can't hear the motor. Like, all we hear is exhaust.
Yeah.
You know, we don't hear any induction noise at all. So even though the motor's right here, like, we hear nothing.
Does your wife ride in this car? What does she think?
She likes it. She said, yeah, this is much more like your E92.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't know squat about cars, but when we talked about, like, even though the E92 is much slower than the F80, she said that car felt like a beast, and this car feels a lot like that. She said, and this just makes, when she first rode it, she said, yeah, this makes sense. This fits you much better.
This feels far more comfortable as well, even though it rides so well.
Yeah. The Magna ride, I think the suspension on this thing, you know, they took one of the knocks on this car is that all the parts are still, like the suspension, the arms, and the control links, the end links, they're all steel, you know, versus M3 is going to be bespoke aluminum. But what they did is they took all the parts that needed to be modified and left the ones that didn't.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just a good car. It's a lot of fun. I don't like the look of it as much. Certain angles, I think it looks great.
Oh, you see, that's where I'm different. When I walked up to it, I thought, boy, this is a good-looking car. Yeah, I was impressed with the look. I wasn't expecting to be as impressed with the look as I was.
It also has line lock.
Just in case you get up in the morning and you decide you've got too much tread on your rear tire.
Yeah, I did it once. We'll launch control up here.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I think we're pretty good. Okay.
So what you do is there's a little tab, a little toggle, so toggle it up and you'll see an LC show up.
Yeah, let me turn the camera down here a bit. So you toggle this up, get an LC in there, yep.
And then what you'll do is mash the gas all the way to the floor and dump the clutch.
Hang on, I need this in first, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're in first. I just mash this to the floor.
Yeah. All the way to the floor and then let go. As well, right? Did you see
yeah.
It's set to. I have it set to track mode,
right?
Or as they come in and they touch. You can also do left to right.
Right.
The problem with doing the left to right mode, or the normal mode, is you see it in your view all the time, 24/7.
So what's the tire? What tires do you have on here?
They're Super Sports.
Okay.
The R comes with Cup 2s.
Right.
And of course, the big one of the questions I get a lot is, well, why didn't you get an R? Well, I'd love to get an R, but I'm going to spend $100 grand on an R.
Yep.
I didn't order it early enough.
Only so much money you want to spend on these things.
Right. I mean, this was $60,000.
Yeah.
And I paid sticker for it.
See, we stop for stop signs. We're not lawbreakers, you and I.
Right. Ignore the speedometer in the
Yeah.
last section. It does warrant adolescent behavior.
Yes.
But doesn't this feel like a sports car?
It really does. I'm really quite surprised.
Right. I don't want to love it. I know it's like I own it, so the natural tendency is you have to protect your choice.
Yeah.
I don't have that in me. I'm willing to make fun of myself, kind of like you are.
Yeah.
It's just good, man. It's just
I was coming into this going, how good can this Mustang possibly be? Oh, you've been here before, I see.
This is my out and back.
This is your hunting ground.
only other thing that I was thinking about that's a little odd is that 6th gear is a massive overdrive. I think it's like 1.3 to 1.
60 miles an hour, we're doing 1.5.
But it lugs, you know, it won't. Yeah, you can't pass anybody unless you're doing 85.
Right. I mean, you and I comparing this to M cars, which is a bit ridiculous because they're not in the same price range. Really, we should be comparing this to like a Hellcat, for example. Mm-hmm. Is it this one?
Yeah.
A Hellcat, which, you know, is a one-trick pony in many ways. This is a much better all-rounder, isn't it?
Well, I haven't driven a Hellcat, so I'd be speaking out of the side of my mouth.
Yeah.
But from my impression, you know, and I think I know what it would be like. The Hellcat drives straight. I mean, the Hellcat is a muscle car. This is a sports car.
Yeah.
You know, so this takes a muscle car chassis and turns it into a true sports car, and that's what appeals to me, because going straight in a fast line doesn't really appeal to me all that much. I certainly want the car to have some power, and I want it to move.
Yeah, no, you need it to do other things.
Right.
Yeah. So now I'll let you get back to 1 hour washing car videos. Thank you for the drive, my friend.
Thanks for not killing me.